Hi. Hello. How is everyone? I'm on time. Aren't you proud of me? Let me tell you, it's not that easy. Work in the matrix, then eat some food. And I want to present, I guess, the best job possible here. And I appreciate everyone who's joining us tonight. And welcome to the fifth dimension. I'm Mary Amy, and I'm coming to you live from New York. This is Living in the Light, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are. It's May 24th, and what the heck is going on in the physical realm, the physical reality? We have to just tune inward a lot more, don't we? Because this is where the gold is. You have the gold, you have the DNA. And as you activate, and how are you going to activate your DNA? How are you going to activate your light codes? You're going to do that through having quiet, stillness, do some little mild meditation, spending time in nature, dealing with your stuff. I said, was it the other day? I said, write down all of your issues and just look at it and get through it. Eventually, you're going to keep having all of your issues are going to present themselves to you, and you're going to have to deal with them. And maybe it's in a relationship and the same personality comes to you and then you're not dealing with it. Whatever it is, if it's setting your boundaries, if it's something related to your emotions, you're not in control of them. Maybe it's trauma, whatever it is, it's going to keep coming to you until you deal with it. So, anyone, hi, who's that? The Bite Night. Hi, you're getting an echo. You are, really? I wonder why. Is anyone else getting an echo? That's weird. An echo. I'm doing everything the same. In fact, here's Elsa. She's back with me. She has been ill. I think that she injured herself, but she's back, my little Havanese. So tonight we're going to cover topics like deep state suicide. What exactly is that? You know what that is. You guys know what that is. Psychosis. I'm going to get into mass formation psychosis and the portal. We have basically had this opportunity right now to engage with this portal, and we can manifest, we can receive abundance, and all of our dreams can come true. Of course, I'm going to mention angels and psychic phenomenon. Now, I always start off by reminding you to record your dreams when you wake up, whether or not you get an official dream journal or a little composition book, or you just write it on a piece of paper. As soon as you wake up, write down your dreams, because your dreams are helpful to guide you. Your dreams will kind of give you evidence of what's going on in your inner life. And we speak about holding space in our spirit. That's exactly what it is, because our spirit is what guides us. And that is the most powerful aspect of us. Because if you are not excited about something, it's resonating with you, you love it, you cherish it, that's your spirit. You're not going to do it. You're going to run from it. So we're holding space in our spirit now. We're reminding ourselves of our inner life. And that's how you're going to raise your consciousness to a higher vibration and a higher frequency, is through gaining momentum, gaining insight, knowing yourself more. I always say, tune into your heart. Echo went away. That was weird. Interesting. Where are you coming from? Do I have you on my little list? I'm going to add you. I don't know if you've been here before. I'm coming live from New York. Where are you coming from? My name's Mary. How did you find us? I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. And so I'm reminding you, as always, to record your dreams, because you might just realize there's something that you need to focus on, and maybe there'll be a little secret message in your dream that will tell you to go in a certain direction, or it might inspire you. And if you're having a tough time, you might just receive information in your dream state that is going to lift your spirits. In the last few weeks, I haven't really had any psychic attacks. Cross my fingers There hasn't been any demonic stuff. There hasn't been any darkness. It's basically me just unraveling versions of me and parts of my life that I basically had shut the door on, or maybe I never had official closure, and now I do. I've been lurking for a long time, and I'm in. Okay, so you've been on. Well, thanks for joining us. And thanks for sharing where you're from. And then the other thing I always say to you is remind yourself how powerful your thoughts are. And you can build something up in your life, you can make it be a reality, or you can flatten it. If some kind of flash of information comes into your system and it feels different than most other experiences, it feels physical when you get a flash of information. It's kind of a sensation. Maybe it's a mental picture, maybe it's a voice, maybe it's a sound, maybe it's an idea. And you can build on that. I always say you can change the outcome because our thoughts are that powerful. And we can say, oh, wow, that's a great idea. Let me consider that. Or we can say, oh, no, I'm not doing that. Heck no. It's entirely up to you because it's your experience. No one else cares out here in the physical reality. Like I always say, maybe a mom cares about a child, but we are on our own. We have to gain our personal power, and we have to create our dreams, our goals, our desires on our own. Everyone else is trying to figure it out themselves, and they're trying to survive as well because there's so much going on in the physical reality. We're in the middle of a transition. Else is just moving around. So anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, our intentions. What is your intention? Do you have, I always say it runs parallel with your thoughts. Is your intention a good one? Are you saying, oh, I don't want to do that. It's going to be awful. It's going to be terrible. I don't want to do it. It's not going to be, I'm going to be unhappy. It's going to be miserable. Or you're like, oh, okay. You know what? It's an experience. Live in the moment, because we have to create in this moment. And I'm reminding you, in this moment is when you're creating. It doesn't matter about 2 weeks from now or tomorrow or in an hour. If you want to create your desires and your goals and your dreams, whatever you want, you have to do it in this moment. So we'll start right now by saying, we let out a breath and we're like, I have gratitude for this moment. I'm breathing. I can hear rain outside. It sounds kind of romantic, the sound of it. It sounds beautiful hearing the rain hit the leaves. That's my interpretation. I don't say like, ew, it's raining. I say, oh, that's beautiful. The nature needs the rain. And so we want to think right now in this moment and have gratitude. And we have to realize we're here, right? We have to get away from thinking too much and be in this moment. And we have to say, okay, what is it? What is it I want right now? Not tomorrow. Don't say you're not ready for it. You might never be ready for it. You're ready for it right now, because if you're thinking about it and you're considering it and you're imagining it and you're dreaming of it, then you're ready for it right now. Guess what? We might never be ready. We have to start right now. So you say, what is it that I want? What do I see? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? Who are the characters involved? What are their expressions? What are the colors? Where is it located? And then we're going to talk about it like we have it, but in this moment. So we're going to close our eyes right now. We're going to do this together before we get on our topics, because the first couple of topics are kind of depressing and not so exciting. So we're going to do something that's a little fun right now. We're going to close our eyes. We're letting out a breath. We're having some quiet in our system. We're letting go of any tension we have. We're pushing away any doubt. We're having a willingness for it to happen for us. And then we're going to imagine right here in this moment, like it's presented in front of you. You know, like Aladdin, when he'd rub the lamp and the genie would come out and say, what do you want? And then in 1 second flat, Aladdin would be at that location. That's what we're doing right now. You're at that location, whatever it is. Maybe it's something material. Maybe you want a beautiful car. Maybe you want to take a wonderful trip. Maybe it's something related to your career or interests you have, or maybe it's a relationship. And you're going to close your eyes and you're going to imagine it right here in this moment, in this second. And in New York, it's 7:10. So it's 7:10 right now. And I'm imagining what I want right now. And I'm thinking of it. And I'm seeing it with all of my senses. And I'm feeling it. And I'm seeing what's the weather like? What's the colors like? How do I feel in its presence? If this dream came true right now, I know that I would have joy. However, I'd be like a little nervous because I would be a little nervous over what I want. I don't know what you would feel like, but it's still bringing forward exactly the emotions you would have and the environment it would be in. And then you're going to speak out loud about having it, and you're there, and what's it like? Is it some place that's high energy? Is it something that are you the only one there involved in it? Just come up with all of these questions and answer them. And that's how you're going to create it in this moment. And don't say, oh, well, I can't have it right now, because you're sabotaging it. And don't share it with someone else, because they might sabotage it for you. And we want our dreams to come true because we can't count on anything past this moment. We don't know what's going to happen, but how we change the reality beyond this moment is through our thoughts and through what we create. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So Earth news. Now, I'm on social media. I check it out. I watch Twitter. I watch, now I'm like blanking out on all the different things. Rumble, Twitter, Telegram, and then Instagram and Facebook, which I'm really kind of not really paying attention to much of that, because I know that that's devised to keep track of us. And I don't know what's really going. I don't know what's true and what's not. But some of the current news has been, and you've probably heard about it, so I'm not spending a lot of time speaking of it, but it's just something to be aware of. Now, if it's in the news, and I don't watch the mainstream media, but I'm saying if it's coming through on my feed, I say to myself a couple of things. Is this an actual event, or a notice about a particular circumstance that they want us to know, and that's why it's here? Or is this coming out through the public and they're notifying us? Now, some of these have been in the news because I saw them in the computer on like news feeds, but I'm still going to bring them up because there is something that's going to happen, and maybe it's a sign. I always say signs. I don't believe bad things. You know how I am. I always say it's positive. I have hope. I come from a place of love, and my spirit is strong in believing that we will overcome and defeat anything dark. So here's what's come out in the last few days. 30 tons of explosives went missing. Ammonium nitrate disappeared last month from a railroad car. Shipment headed to California. It was 60,000 pounds. It left Cheyenne, I butcher words, sorry. Cheyenne, Wyoming, April 12th on Union Pacific, and 2 weeks later, it landed in California empty after 1,000 miles. So where did that go? Where did these explosives go? Now, do they want us to know that, and for it to be us to be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I'm in fear, I'm scared. Does this mean there's going to be an explosion? Or is that intentional? Don't know who gave out the original news report, and is it true anyway? But I just want to point these things out just in case, to bring awareness. Next thing, U.S. government spent $290 million on anti-radiation pills in case of a nuclear emergency. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Okay, so now we're talking about radiation. I'm not worried about a nuclear war. I don't know what that's all about, but that's another tidbit that came out in the news. And then the last one that I have for you before I get onto the deep state suicide, because I'm starting with that tonight, is that this was heavy today. Even one of my friends said, "Did you hear? Did you hear?" And she's not even looking at any of the sources that I am. At least 50 senators were issued satellite phones in case of an emergency, natural disaster, or man-made. Okay. There we go. There's some Earth news. I don't have any banking news today because everything just seems to be in the same, stagnant. It goes up a little bit and then it goes down. The debt ceiling, they've spoken about raising it by June 1st. I don't know if all that's a bunch of hoopla as well. I don't know. Because what do I know? I'm not there in the situation. Everything else is speculation. Like when you watch some of this mainstream media and they have all these people having a discussion about whatever it is they're trying to focus on or have us be scared about and worry about. And it's just speculation. So I can't waste my time with that. All right. So deep state suicided. That's what we're going to start with. And that's what I thought we were. Are they going to end up, the deep state, at Guantanamo? Or are they going to Guam? Because I know they said that they moved to Guam. And so the deep state is known to be a clandestine, secret network of members of the federal government, the FBI, the CIA, working in high levels of finance and industries, individuals, and leaders to exercise power. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video. And the deep state is known for child trafficking, money laundering, political aspirations, and undermining and creating havoc through unauthorized actions against everybody below them, those that are not in a position of leadership. And this is all hearsay. Obviously, I wasn't there to know if these individuals were deep state suicided, which means that it looked from the outside, the deep state looked like from the outside that something just either arbitrarily happened, it was an accident, or they killed themselves, they committed suicide. But was it actually them being murdered by the deep state? And that's what I wonder about, because it seems to me that the deep state and those evildoers have sacrificed humanity for hundreds of years. And I'm talking about the elite who's in positions of power. They have a lot of wealth. They're extremely, rich and powerful, and they make decisions and no one questions them. And when they don't get their own way, are these people suicided? Where we believe that they were actually maybe down on their luck, or they're having a bad time, or maybe it was an accident. And I'm bringing this up because you know that I bring up topics that I believe that are relevant, and I think we should have awareness and we should not be naive. We tend to be so naive because we're just trying to get through our lives, and we're just trying to pay our bills and have a job and eat some food and maybe go on a vacation, right? And we're not thinking that there's people out there that are doing bad deeds. And it's interesting how you can see the difference between someone right away. And I always say, pay attention to individuals and other beings, their energy, and you can tell right away. And I'll give you an example. I was in Home Depot today. This is a personal story. And I was getting keys made. And I had to make 15 keys for my job in the Matrix, which takes quite a bit of time. And there was a gentleman helping me do that. He was doing it actually, and I was standing there. And when I first stood there, there was no one behind me. Now, we all have been in a situation where someone has no patience. And what does it feel like when they're behind you? You can feel the energy from them. It's beaming onto you. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is taking too long. This person's upset. Now, not everyone reacts that way. Some people are like, who cares? Not my problem. I'm in line first. But for me, since I'm empathic and I absorb everyone's energy. And if I'm not paying attention, I start to feel their anxiety. Well, I'm standing there and we're halfway through the process of making these keys, which takes up quite a bit of time, 15 keys. And all of a sudden there's a man and a woman behind me, and they're not together, and they both have one key. And right away I knew that they were very kind people. They had good energy. And they're like me and probably like you. And we are coming from a place of being kind and honest and forthright, and we're trusting. And it was just not unpleasant. The man finished making my keys, and I left and I took note, and I said to them, I'm so sorry it's taking so long. And they were like, it's okay. It's okay. Now, not everyone's going to behave that way. And that's what I'm getting at right here. We're dealing with, in the deep state, we're dealing with those that aren't that kind, that if they were standing behind me waiting for the keys, they'd probably be stamping their feet and going and complaining and all that other garbage, or maybe worse. So the deep state suicided. This close-knit group oversees all the final decisions of the people. And some of them are non-elected officials, and you know who I'm talking about. And they're operating on their own. Now, there has been no deadly repercussion. There's been no repercussions for their deadly acts. Has there been body bags from the deep state? And a body bag is obviously someone passed away and they put them in a bag and they drag them away. So here are some of the possibilities of ways that those have been deep state suicided if they were in fact murdered by the deep state. Now, they could have been murdered because they were in the way of those politicians' political aspirations, because someone found out about child trafficking or pedophilia. Now, the state within a state, the shadow government, arranged for those not in agreement or blocking their agenda. Maybe they were whistleblowers, maybe they were testifying, and they made a plan to have them suicided. Now, we're talking about police, and these are the ones who are suicided: police officers, politicians, celebrities, designers. This goes back as far as the 1970s or further. Now, maybe there's been as many as 400 of these from the deep state. Mysterious deaths. Now, we're not speaking of the human trafficking and the child trafficking. We're just speaking about those that were involved with the deep state that got in their way. They were murdered. They had heart attacks, gunshots to the head, plane crashes, found dead. Gunshots in the head, mysteriously missing, gunshot suicide, hanging suicide, gunshot to the head. There's a lot of gunshot to the head. Drug overdoses, suicides, slit wrists, car accidents, jumping from a window, fell out of a window, found in the woods, gunshot in the head, explosives blew up their home, explosives blew up their car, motorcycle crashes, stabbed over 100 times, heads cut off, robbery killings, shot to death. Now, there's been all of these very mysterious murders, or mysterious deaths, we should say, because I'm speculating that they were murders, aren't I? That they were suicided. But let's take into account that all of those, I didn't say their names, and I'm talking around who are the possible deep state. However, these are all taken from real stories, what I just named. And is this possible? Absolutely. Because as we uncover it, as the world is revealed to exactly what's been happening and what's been occurring for years and years, decades, without our knowledge, and there's been these secret groups that meet, and they're networked, and they're networked into a lot of the corporations. They're networked in a lot of our systems in government, our medical, our pharma, our um, our branches of the government, our education. What else? It seems like religion even is involved now, I realize. And I am about God, and I always say Christ consciousness, but I don't know what's going on in the religion part. I don't know what's going on there. So my point is just to bring awareness, and I truly believe that all the answers will come forward in our lifetime. We will know. And then we're going to be all in the fifth dimension. We're all going to be speaking telepathically. We're all going to be coming out of our homes and hugging one another. We won't be working these 9-to-5 jobs in these skyscrapers. They'll be empty. We'll have gardens and peace. And we'll have fun and we'll be happy and serenity. And all this evil will be found out because the light is shining on the evil. It's being revealed. There's been disclosure. And every day there's more and more disclosure, and it gets a little, I guess, exhausting because I'd like some good news. And I guess the good news is that we're here right now. We have gratitude, and it's a beautiful day. It's springtime, and it's May 24th. Okay, so before I get on to psychosis, I want to mention light on the horizon. Good things are coming beyond our view. A difficult situation will improve. And what does that mean exactly? Well, if you go out to a sunrise in the morning, or you see a sunset before you go to before it sets in the evening, I was going to say before you go to bed, you can have a spark of light hit you, and you can, like I always say, through a rectangular window. I would have this dream, and in my dream, I would walk up to the window, and through this window, I would see the sunrise, and it would be oranges and yellows and reds. And so light on the horizon is good luck. A difficult situation will improve beyond our view. And we have that opportunity right now. We cannot count on anything out in the physical reality. We can only control this and count on ourselves. We have to have personal power. You are much brighter, more advanced, more energetic, more, strong and courageous than you ever imagined. And that's what you have to tune into. You have to have that. You have to realize that part of you. Now, if you start to ascend and your DNA activates, that means that more light is coming into your system, which means that maybe when you close your eyes, you have some visuals going on. You might feel it. You might feel as though like your arms and legs are vibrating. You might hear ringing in the ears. You might just realize that a part of you had left you, has come back, like a piece of you. And that piece of you is sharing with you exactly what you're supposed to be doing and who you are. And every single talent that you have is going to magnify and be much bigger than you thought. You're probably going to cry a little bit more and laugh a little bit more and be happier more. And you're going to realize exactly who you are. And you're a beautiful being of light, and you're cherished, and you're worthy. It doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what you have or what you do. You are worthy as is. You have to have self-worth. You have to love yourself. You have to tune into your heart. Now, if you're not feeling well, then you say why, and you get through it. And if it's so difficult and you say, I'm having such a tough time, then I suggest that you remember and go to someone in your life, either in the past or in the present, that you love. And remember that love and bring that love into your heart. When you bring that love into your heart, it changes your energetic pattern. And it can change your mood, it can change how you behave, and it can change your thoughts. It's like you have to zap your own self sometimes. When I say spark that beautiful glowing light in your heart, I'm saying that in terms of seeing a sunrise, spending time in nature, or tuning in. Now, if we were right now to imagine, if we want to close our eyes and we want to imagine a ball of light in our hearts right now, if you uncross your legs and you put all your weight in your bottom and you let out a breath and you move around till you feel relaxed and you do some just relaxation with your breathing. And I'd like you to imagine a ball of light about this big, the size of a quarter, in your heart. And I'd like you to imagine that this ball of light in your heart, you can feel it. And this ball of light is warm and glowing, and it's sending off in every direction light within you. And this ball of light is spinning. And as it's spinning, it's expanding, and it's sending out sparks of light within your being. And you're accepting it because it's all about accepting this. If you accept it and you're open to it, you'll start to feel a little bit of relief within you. You'll sense that you are more calm, more patient, and the light is spinning. The ball of light is spinning, and it's expanding, and it's growing, and it's becoming bigger than your heart. And it's coming out of your entire being. And then it's covering you. This light is covering you. This glowing, illuminating light is covering your entire physical being. And now it's coming beyond your physical being into your energy field. And this ball of light is bringing into your energy field excitement and happiness and love and courage. And it's just spinning. And then it's spinning the opposite direction. And it's filling this entire space around you, this light. This ball of light is now covering your entire being. You're engulfed in this ball of light. And I'm speaking of a ball of light that looks like white light. It looks like the light when you look up at the sun. And so now you're basically a ball. You're like a sun yourself. You're covered. It's within you and it's on the outside of you. And you can feel it touching your skin. You can feel it touching your heart. You can feel the light touching your organs. You can feel it touching your crown chakra and your face. And you're glowing and you're excited and you're happier than you've been in a long time. And I'd like you to imagine that this ball of light is staying within you as long as you can. It's not going to disappear. You're going to have patience. You're going to let it stick around. It's going to give you hope and positivity. That's what the ball of light's going to do for you. Okay, let's get on to psychosis. So psychosis, what is psychosis? Psychosis is a condition of the mind that results in difficulties determining what is real and what is not real. And I believe that we've kind of all been experiencing this. Like sometimes I say, is that real? Did that really happen? Are people really doing that? Now, I'm not really seeing it so much in my physical reality. It's all hearsay. I'm hearing about it. I'm hearing about what is happening, or maybe I'm seeing it. I might be seeing something in the physical realm outside of me that looks a little odd. It's a little disturbing, maybe absurd, somewhat of a clown show. And so it's a condition. We can have a condition, and we've seen that in the last few years. And maybe it went on longer. It just wasn't evident that there are those out there that were not functioning in reality. It was something that was created, and it's not kind of placed on them. And I believe it was placed on them through mind control. I believe it was placed on them through brainwashing and repeating the same information over and over again. And some of those out in the physical realm, physical dimension, believed it to be true. Now, I was always someone who kind of thought out of the box, and I've shared that with you. I never really went along with authority, if you can imagine that. I was always doubting, like, come on, I'm not listening to you. Who are you anyway? That's how I did. I wasn't someone who was obedient. I was not following anyone else's rules. I never did. So it was easy for me to see beyond a situation. And I believe in the last few years, there's been some kind of psychosis, this mental psychosis. And some of those out there that have been very fearful of death are those that have really hung on to this psychosis and these ways and these belief systems that they were told is possible in the last few years. And when I looked into fears, in the past, people would say, oh, I have a fear of spiders, or I have a fear of butterflies, or I have a fear of heights. I used to have a fear of heights, and now I want to learn how to fly a plane. So go figure. Maybe people have a fear of going outdoors, or they could have. There's many fears. They have claustrophobia, which is a fear of being in closed areas. Well, the strongest and the top fear is now fear of death. If you tell someone or you announce, well, if you do this, you might die, and then they hear that over and over again, they really start to believe that. And this is this psychosis that has happened across our nation, across the globe. So symptoms might include delusions of behavior in a given situation that really aren't appropriate, where they start to imagine something that is possible, but it's not really. It's basically like they've been brainwashed to believe this. When you see a movie, a film, and we knew it to be a sci-fi film, and there's some kind of villain or creature that's convinced someone that bugs are crawling all over them, or they're gonna fall into a hole, but there's really no hole. That's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to those out there in the physical reality that believe something is going to happen to them because of what they've been told, but it's not. It's just a made up thing to scare them. And what will happen if you have a psychosis? You're going to have lack of sleep. Maybe you're going to have problems in social situations. You won't have motivation. It might be caused by mental illnesses. So something that was, I'm getting ringing in my ear. Something that was below the surface in these individuals surfaced when they started being kind of brainwashed. Now, I heard this terminology, mass formation psychosis, which was, of course, debunked and said there's no such thing. And they said that was misinformation, blah, blah, blah. But I'm still going to mention it because that's kind of in the realm of what I'm referring to. So this is mass formation psychosis, is really taking this a step further to be more detailed in what I'm saying. So that's considered mind control. Someone can be hypnotized. Now, how can you be hypnotized? I don't know if you've ever been hypnotized. I have. I was hypnotized many times, so I have an understanding of what it's like. I don't know if you have. When you're hypnotized, you're aware of what's going on, except you're hearing a voice that's telling you, giving you suggestions of what to do. And maybe you've been hypnotized to get over an addiction. You might have been hypnotized to go to regress in your memory. For whatever the reason is, it seems as though there's some individuals right now who are under this hypnosis. And mass formation psychosis is brainwashing large groups of people, and they're led to believe false and harmful beliefs. And we wonder about what's going on. These suggestions, what have these individuals been watching, or what are they following for them to be hypnotized or under mind control? And some of these things that I'm going to just throw in there is, this whole philosophy of wear one mask, then two masks, then three masks, then gloves, then face shields. And now it's been proven that none of that actually works. Also, the country was shut down, and we over and over heard about people dying, loops of deaths, all the numbers. This puts so much stress on the world. Now, this is not the first time I believe mass formation psychosis has occurred. It's occurred at other times in history. And maybe not in our lifetime, but it's occurred in other circumstances. And really, if you have people's ears and eyes, which the television does have, or if it's something that's in the education system or at someone's job, they start to believe it to be true. Because there was this experiment, and I shared it with you months ago. And these young adults were brought into a room. Now, one of them did not know it was an experiment, and the other three did. And they held up pieces of paper, how would I say it? The individuals who were doing the experiment held up pieces of paper with different lines. One was a short line, one was a long line, one was a medium-sized line. And they asked these young men which was the longest line. And the guy who did not know that it was an experiment said the truth, which was the longest line. And the other three said that the short line was the longest line. And eventually, the man who didn't know about the experiment started to agree with them. Because he wanted to, I guess, be liked, be part of the group, or he was actually in a smaller situation of this mass formation psychosis. So he was believing information based on what everyone else was saying. And they did this 3 times with these men. And each time he was more likely to agree with them, even though that wasn't the truth and he knew it. He went along with it. So this mass formation psychosis produces fear, anxiety, stress to the world. It scares the heck out of everyone. It results in frantic behavior, unrealistic responses, and maybe even causes people to go a little bit wild and out of control. So we have to be aware that this has kind of gone on in the last few years, and we don't know if it's going to happen again. And that's one of the reasons why I bring all these topics up, to bring awareness in the future so that we are aware. We don't want this to ever happen again. We want to be aware. We don't want to be taken to a place that we are vulnerable and we are in danger. We want to know exactly what is in front of us. Like I always say, to be an observer, come from a place of neutrality. So sit back and watch. And when you give your permission away and you don't have discernment, you give your power away. So if something does not feel right within you, then don't do it. If you don't have enough information, then wait to make a decision. But don't be pressured into doing anything that you don't feel comfortable doing, because let them be in the face of danger, someone else. If you know something is not good for you, then don't do it. Don't go along with the crowd. Don't be a follower, be a rebel. Okay? I'm worried. I want everyone to be okay because we're headed into the 5th dimension, and I don't know what kind of turmoil is about to occur. I don't know, because when all of the disclosure is shown, which is a reveal of some kind of, I guess, hidden agenda or secret, and the population finds out, because maybe only, I guess, 30% of the population is awakened. And when the rest awaken and this information is disclosed to them, are they going to be okay? I don't know. So it's good to come from a place of neutrality and be an observer. All right, let's get on to the portal. Let's go to happiness and love. All right, so here's Archangel Michael. And he's a warrior. He's a messenger. He is a He's a warrior, he's a messenger, and he's a protector of humanity. And if you ask for angels to come down into your physical reality or into your heart, into your spirit, you might have a mystical experience. You might have more light come into you, maybe a miracle, divine intervention. So there's hundreds upon thousands upon millions of angels traveling, ascending and descending from a staircase from heaven. And they're here to protect humanity. And you can ask for angels to come and join you. Now, they say we have at least 2 guardian angels that are with us from birth, that are here, maybe dropping a message into our, whispering in our ear, or dropping a thought into our head. You might see an angel, sparks of light out of the corner of your eye. You might feel a brush across your face, and it's an angel. Maybe you'll have a dream about angels. Maybe you will channel to angels. Maybe you'll see in your third eye angels. Anything is possible. Here's a picture of angels. And look at these angels. This is what they say angels look like. Like, we have this, and this is in fine arts. But if you want to go to, I guess, ancient times, they believe angels had more than one head. And these angels here have 4 wings, don't they? And this looks like actually a genie. And I mentioned genies. Isn't that a real funny coincidence? Synchronicity. This is what's coming out of the lamp. It's interesting, right? Okay, so let's talk about this portal. Now we've basically right now, this is kind of looks like a portal in a way, doesn't it? I love this. It's a vortex, actually, which a vortex is a portal is too. So right now we're in the moments of a portal, which means that we have much opportunity. And we have the ability to change and transition into and transmute into the best, most authentic version of ourselves and bring that dream forward, right? We're going to bring it forward. We're going to quantum leap right here in this moment. So what can happen for us during this portal, this gateway, this opening? There's a gateway right now. There's an opening right now. May 24th, started yesterday. There is a portal right now. So it will bring forth more intuition, more creativity, divine guidance. You can connect to that. You can ask for it. Now let's embrace our inner wisdom. We all have the answers within us. We have divine conscience. We have information within ourselves, our mind, body, spirit. 2 days ago, we spoke about the mind, body, spirit, and higher consciousness. So we would like to embrace our inner wisdom, which means we have the answers within us. We can create abundance, prosperity, and our own personal happiness. No one else is going to do it for us. It's just up to us. It's just up to you. You have the gold. Now you can step into your authentic self. Let's deep dive into our soul, into our spirit right now. Let's close our eyes right now. It all comes from within. Let's close our eyes and let us relax like we always do. Let out a breath. Imagine that we're kind of laying in nature right now. So that might be either you're laying down or you're sitting up in nature. Maybe you're on the grass. Maybe you're on some stones, but you're in nature. There's nothing around you. There's no people around you. You're just really in a peaceful place. And you're allowing yourself to be patient. You're not struggling with worry about time. You're not thinking about what's going to happen. You're just here right now, and you're either laying or sitting on grass, like I said, some kind of stone, something that's earthy. And you're tuning inward. And you're doing a deep dive down, down deep within you. Now, I don't know what you see. Every single thing that happens for you is going to be a personal experience. I'm just giving suggestions. But you're doing a deep dive down within you. Now, maybe you see it to be a hole. Maybe it's a space. Maybe it's light. Maybe it's dark. But I'd like you to go down as deeply as you can within your spirit, whatever that means to you. Now, maybe you're feeling some kind of energy within you. Maybe you're feeling like it's very open or closed. Whatever it is, it's entirely up to you, because you need to find out as much as you can about your spirit, because your spirit is the most powerful part of you. It's not about your physical being. It's not about your mind. It's about your spirit. So as you travel as deeply as you can within yourself, maybe you're flying to the depths of yourself. I'd like you to imagine that you're starting to see a yellowish white light surrounding you. Now you're floating in this yellow light, this whitish yellow light. It's not consuming you. It's not holding you. It's just surrounding you. Now, maybe you're continuing to move downward, or maybe you've stopped in the space. Shh. And now I'd like you to imagine as you're just floating in this light, you're in this light deeply inside your spirit. I'd like you to take a moment. I'm going to be quiet. And what are you seeing that's surrounding you in this space? What are you seeing? Now, if you're not seeing anything, or if you're not able to get some kind of response, maybe ask yourself right now. We'll be like a little Aladdin. So in this space within you, in this light that's surrounding you, ask yourself what you would like to have. What would you like to have before you in this light space within your spirit? What is it you would like to have? And I'm going to be quiet. And I'd like you to see as much as you can through all your senses and all the colors. Now, hopefully by doing this, you have received some kind of feeling of happiness or joy, because this is what you want. And now I'd like you to tell yourself that you can have this. Maybe you say it out loud, maybe you say it in your mind, whatever it is. You tell yourself that you can have this, whatever it is that you want, in this whitish light that's surrounding you, deep down, deep into your spirit. This is yours, whatever it is, because if this information came to you and you imagined this and you saw this, you visualized it, that means you can have it. It's yours. So you must say that. You must acknowledge this. And if you get a response that's very like a matter of fact, then that means that you are accepting of it and it's possible. If you're getting some kind of resistance within you, you must discover why exactly you have resistance. Why are you resisting what you want? What is blocking you from this that's within your spirit that knows you should have it? You are the only one who has the answers to this question. You will still have it. You will get it because you're going to overcome this. If you did this little activity, you will figure it out. Okay, so I'd like you to keep that within your spirit right now, whatever it is that you asked for and you wanted right next to you. I'd like you to try to keep that memory alive. Let out a breath and relax, and you can open your eyes. So this portal right now that we're in, we can have whatever it is that you saw within your spirit, you can have it. And we don't say about having it tomorrow or in 20 years. It's going to happen right now because you saw it within you. If you see something within you right now, you can have it right now. You're ready for it right now. You're going to begin to have upgrades. Every single time you do one of these little exercises, you are bringing forward an upgrade. You are receiving information that you didn't have before. It's not the norm what I'm doing. So we are shifting into a new dimension and we are preparing for it right now. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So your thoughts will activate a transformation. Every single time you do one of these little activities, maybe it's only a minute or two long, but it is changing something within you. It only takes this fast to change you. That's all it is. You can change your belief system this fast. So you will change and you will morph into the most authentic self that you are. There's something much more grandiose in your future than you realize. You're not average. You're not normal. You're special. You have the gold within you. So your thoughts activate a transformation and your beliefs will bring forward your most authentic self. So now we know that there's been these two timelines. And the two timelines I'm referring to are this 3-dimensional and this 5-dimensional. And we are jumping timelines. By doing any of this work, we are jumping timelines by bringing more awareness, by thinking out of the box. So the old timeline is this lower frequency. There's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of loss, pain, worry, fear, and then this higher frequency that we're moving into. And we're transforming, we're transitioning, and the earth is transforming and transitioning around us. We are moving into this place of love and peace and positivity and trust. And it's lighter energy. You can feel this lighter energy. Sometimes we are so addicted to drama. Sometimes we are so addicted to, or we are so used to having this pattern of behavior, this energetic pattern of behavior, that we don't know how to break free. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, and maybe you sense I'm not strong enough, or I really like how I am. And that's whatever makes you happy. That's all that matters, whatever makes you happy. Everyone has a different perspective. Everyone has a different path. That's why we can't follow the masses, because where are they going? They have a different destiny. You and I both have a different destiny. Maybe we're both going to land in the 5 dimension, in this new civilization, but we're not going to have the same path. You probably aren't interested in doing any of the things I do, and I'm not interested in doing any of the things you do. But we're going to have a higher frequency. We're going to have more positivity. We're going to have more flow. So now all of this is your decision, Earthlings. So we can join together and end up in the 5D. Can't we? All right, so let's see. I am going to recommend that maybe you get some little gemstones like I have here. How's Elsa doing? And they bring light, and they're from the earth, and they're positive. And you might have a certain gemstone that resonates with you and brings more healing qualities. And a different day, Monday you might wake up and say, oh, I really feel I need this amethyst. And then Tuesday, you might say Amazonite or none of these. It's just a suggestion. So I'm wishing good things for you. I'll be back maybe Friday night. I'll be back either Friday or Saturday. And then Monday, I do have an interview. I don't know if it's posting Monday or Tuesday. Joan Kiera is all in now. I ran into her over the weekend, and she's the psychic. And I will be having an interview with her early next week. So I hope you join us. And I'm wishing good things for you tonight. And I hope you're well. And I'm spinning light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. You're imagining this big, bold band of light surrounding you, and it's spinning, and it's taking away all the negativity and any darkness that's surrounding you or within you. And then I'm spinning it the other way, and it's giving you hope. And I wish good things for you. Everyone be well. I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. And thank you, Bite. I can't even say this. This Bite Night. Thank you. Everyone be well.